W. Curtis Preston from TrueBit TV. I'm talking to Muthu Sudhakar, founder, CEO of Caspida. How's it going?
Thank you. Very good. It's a
So,
great event this week with VMworld, and we're
it's
happy to be here.
a little show, just down the street.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're
Very
here
interesting.
at
Very
the
interesting little show.
yeah, very interesting, little show. So let's talk about what made you want to found Caspida.
A couple of things. When I was at most recently, I was at VMware, and I worked with Pat Gelsinger and Paul Murray for last 2 to 3 years. One thing that I saw increasingly with the customers is that security is a big topic right now. We've been attacked from both organized uh, hackers to state-sponsored attacks.
Yeah.
And as Pat talked about at his keynote, as we go through this journey of software-defined data centers are hard outside, inside is soft,
Yep.
and particularly with software VMs and software storage and software virtualization and networking, we think that the security is the biggest problem to solve there. Because if a hacker and attacker gets inside your data center, he can move the VMs laterally, he can exfiltrate the data outside.
Yep.
So we are here to figure out a way to protect that in this new vision of the software-defined data center.
Yeah, and also so many hosts, what we used to call hosts, are now not even in a data center.
Right.
They're in something like AWS,
Yes.
right? And so security has become, I think, the attacks are stronger, more sponsored, like you said. There's money, huge money behind them. And yet, so many hosts are even outside the data center. So how do you, is there a different approach for VMs that are like in AWS, for example, than VMs that are inside a data center?
Very good question. I think the solutions that will apply to AWS, Amazon environment, and VMware may not be the same. Fundamentally, you need a new approach to solve the security problem. There are some announcement done by VMware called micro-segmentation that will solve, that's first piece of the Lego. I feel that there's a lot more need to happen because in general, the VM has what I call time ephemeral. So a hacker can log into a VM and he might remove his trail completely because the VMs are not something hard. So I
Right.
might log into a VM, launch an attack, and remove the complete VM. So it's very hard to trace it back. So what you do in Amazon environment and VMware, there may be some commonality, but they almost require complete different solutions. So we are actually working with both Amazon and VMware architectures to see what we can do for public clouds and what we can do for on-prem.
And so, give me an overview of what if somebody was to use your solution today. What does it look like?
Yeah, so the key thing there are, if you step back and say security is, I believe the security should not be about finding it and informing it to alerts and this thing because there's not too much time left. And when a hacker gets into your house, he's going to steal within milliseconds. So
Right.
the world that I want to see it is, you need a real-time automated solution which will detect and prevent. And that's what we want to solve. We are not here to come and give you alerts and investigate, etc. Because if something is happening within milliseconds, he's going to steal. So the things that most companies are worried about is what happened with Edward Snowden. They want to prevent the Snowden's affair.
Right.
If an employee will have an access to certain things and he's copying it to Box or Dropbox, you want to stop that. Because once the
Right.
data is out, all bets are off.
Right,
So where
right.
Caspida is coming is, look, let us find it in real time, let us prevent it in real time before the leaks happen.
The concern, of course, or the challenge for you is that you stop something, you stop a business process that is, if you detect it and you see something that looks like a hack and you stop a valid business process, that's going to put a big, demand on
So,
you.
very good. I mean, this is like what I call a learning process that will go through it.
Yeah.
What customers are telling us, look, 95% of my business process, they want us to do that still. They
Right.
might say, look, for 10% of the business process or 5%, like anybody's CEO or his direct reports or some OLTP transactions don't take an action, but rest of my environment, I want to do that. You see what I'm saying? So they
Yep.
would rather be sorry than lose the data.
Right,
So
right.
they'll go back to employees, okay, I did cause some productivity loss to you, but is that more important? It's a risk reward.
Yep.
So you're in a point where right now the hackers are at the upper hand than what we have this thing.
Yep.
So the movie will play out saying that, look, let's bring it back solutions to the point we can protect it. Then again, there'll be a next level. But right now the movement towards that customers are asking is, look, prevent it.
Yeah,
Don't
we
come
don't,
back
we
with-
don't want to show up on CNN.
We don't want to show up on CNN. More importantly, we don't want our CEO to be fired. Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
has changed right now is 10 years back to now is, look, first time board and the CEOs are getting fired. It's not anymore about the CIO and CISO. So that's a big change in the security, what caused a target.
Right.
And board right now is responsible to protect all assets. As a shareholder, their responsibility is to protect the company assets.
Right.
Right. So it's changing the whole new angle, and they're asking us to take the full preventive action. Granted that we may make mistakes, but we'll learn through that process. So,
Right.
and the technique that we want to apply is algorithmic approach. See, what the traditional approach is more rule-based and policy-based. The approach that we are saying is, look, today when you fly a Boeing, you're flying on an autopilot mode.
Right.
It's not giving you alerts and trying to debug when it's trying to land. It has to make a corrective action.
Right.
Google is coming with a driverless car. Like that, we are coming with a system which will automatically detect. And algorithm is a new feature, robotics approach. So we are applying AI, machine learning techniques to find the threats to stop the hackers.
Great. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk today.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me here.
And thank you for watching. Again, make sure to check out our other videos and podcasts on TrueBit.tv.